So they're filming it as they move down the road, floating in the air, completely stationary, not moving at all. Again, you'll see a little flash above it every now and then. First clip comes to us from the Alien subreddit, and it is titled, "This Flying Object Was Spotted in Brazil," recorded on December 25th, 2025 on an iPhone 16. It's only 23 seconds long. Let's take a look. So daytime over Brazil, they are driving down the road and recording an object off in the distance. You can see it there flying, pretty much pacing them at around the same speed that they're moving, seemingly. Yeah, it does seem to be. Yeah, it's moving pretty quick. It seems to be moving about the same speed that their vehicle is moving, and it looks kind of like a saucer-shaped craft. You almost see kind of a tip at the bottom and the top, and then it looks like it's saucer-shaped. So they're filming it as they move down the road. And again, from the perspective of the video, it does appear this object is moving very fast, matching their speed. Now, when they zoom in on it, this is when we get a really good look at it here. So let's zoom in on that a little bit. So you can see what I mean. It's kind of diamond shaped, but saucer shaped at the same time. So you got kind of a point at the bottom, a point at the top, and then it almost looks like it's a circle around the outer edge. And then it's bright on the top, which probably is just where the sun is reflecting off of the object. Let's move forward a few frames. Yeah, it's moving pretty quickly. I don't see any signs of it rotating. So it doesn't appear to be rotating. It appears to just be moving in a straight line. But you can see there's no visible means of propulsion at all, like none. You see no indication that this craft is moving via some type of propulsion method. Very intriguing. I don't know what this object could be. It doesn't look like a drone. Obviously not a helicopter or any type of aircraft that I know of. So at a glance, this seems like it could be an authentic UFO UAP clip. Let's see what people are saying in the comments over on the Reddit thread. Looks like this person is comparing it to another UFO sighting in Brazil. It does look very similar. It definitely looks similar. Now, this person says this has already been debunked. It is a black star balloon. It inflates using the sun's heat on black plastic, allowing it to catch air currents and gain speed and altitude. So not a lot in the chat. It looks like there's a few people who think this is some type of balloon, and then there are a few people that think that it is an authentic UFO UAP captured on camera over Brazil, and they compared it to another UFO sighting in Brazil. I don't really know where I land. It's a compelling clip. I don't believe that this is a balloon. I can't see this being a balloon, given how fast it's moving and the fact that it's moving in what appears to be a straight line. So clip number 2 comes to us from the UFOB subreddit, and it is titled "Black Orb Over North Phoenix." So it's over Phoenix, daytime. Looks like the sun is either setting or rising. I can't really tell, but you see they zoom in on something off in the distance. It appears to be a black orb-shaped object, and it's just floating in the air, completely stationary, not moving at all, just floating there. And they're zooming in and out on it. Now, if you go watch this clip, which will be linked down below, you can also hear their reactions to what they're seeing on camera. And their reactions sound very genuine and authentic to me. Like it seems to me like they really caught something on camera here. Now, I'm sure you're immediately going to say that is just a balloon. Balloons don't just, at least to my knowledge, balloons don't just sit stationary in the air without moving at all. Unless it's tied to a string, and then that would make it not increase in elevation because of the length of the string or rope or whatever. However, you would expect to see it moving a little bit, and not just being perfectly stationary in the air, because I'm sure there's at least a little bit of wind, a little bit of a breeze that would cause it to move around. Let's go see what people are saying in the comments over on the Reddit thread. This individual says it was a balloon, and they took a picture, or they're showing a picture of a balloon tied to a street lamp. Now, here's the thing. I don't know where they got this picture. This picture, they could have pulled this picture off Google for all I know. This person says that it is a balloon for new home development. You can see the string ever so faintly. So the consensus in the comments is that this sighting is a balloon. And look, I mean, I'll be honest, it is very, very likely that it is a balloon. Very, very likely. All right, clip number 3 comes to us from the UFO Believers subreddit, and it is titled Strange Looking UAP in Perth, Western Australia. All right, so daytime sky, you see a long black object with something long and skinny hanging off the bottom of it. Now they're showing the plane that they're filming as well, and you'll see the object in the air near the plane. Now on the object appear to be 2 red lights. It seems like it's rotating. You can kind of see the lights rotating around. And again, it has something long and skinny hanging off of it that appears to be solid. It doesn't appear to be a string or a rope or anything like that. Everything else you're seeing on the screen, they said, was dust on their camera lens. So they're zooming in and out on this object. It's just kind of hanging out in the air, but you see, again, you see what appear to be a couple of red lights on it. It seems to be getting further and further away as they film it, so they're trying to zoom in on it to keep it in frame, which is proving to be a little bit difficult because, you know, anytime you're zoomed in on an object, if your camera's not on a tripod, you're gonna have a hard time keeping that object in frame. That's just the way it works. I don't know what to think about this object. It could be a balloon. I'm sure a lot of people in the comments on the Reddit thread are gonna say that, but the thing about it is, it has what appear to be 2 lights on it, I think, unless that's just the sun reflecting off the object. There do appear to be at least 2 lights on it. And then it has this protrusion at the bottom of it, again, like I mentioned earlier, and it appears to be solid, so I don't know what that's all about. This is a very bizarre looking object. Very bizarre looking object. It just appears to be kind of hovering around in the air. It's not moving fast. It's not, you know, I can't tell if it's moving up and down or if it's moving in a straight line at all. It's kind of hard to tell because of the perspective, but it's definitely hovering in the air. I don't see any propulsion or propellers or anything like that that could explain how it's in the air, unless it's a balloon, and then they're showing the plane fly by it again. Really interesting, really bizarre and interesting. Let's see what people are saying in the comments over on the Reddit thread. This person says that it's a balloon. I was totally expecting that. This person says it is a #1 balloon. Nobody's mentioning the lights so far, which I find to be interesting that nobody's mentioning that. This one says literally 1 balloon, and then this person responds that flashes at the bottom. Okay, buddy, and see, that is a very good point. So the consensus in the comments, unsurprisingly, is that this is a balloon. Now here's the thing. This one, I mean, I don't think this one is a balloon for the reasons that I stated. So reason #1, the 2 lights, okay? That already kind of reduces the chances of it being a balloon, right? And then the stiff, thick protrusion, that did not sound right, at the bottom of the object, pointing straight down, not moving at all. That's not a string. I don't care what anybody says. That is not a string. Clip number 4 comes to us from the UFO Believers subreddit, and it's titled UFO Sighting, Very Strange UFO Caught on Video. It's about 1 minute 41 seconds long. Let's take a look. Really strange looking cloud, and in the cloud you see a flashing light every now and then, and you see this cloud start to form into what looks like something a little bit more solid, and it's just floating there. And then the outer part of the cloud dissipates and it forms into a slightly more solid object that then starts to move through the air with another flashing light, with a flashing light above it. You can see the light flash every now and then above this object, and you see what looks like possibly some propulsion. It's hard to say, but this object is moving in a straight line, and again, you'll see a little flash above it every now and then as they film and track it move across the screen. So this is just really, really bizarre. Let's zoom in just a little bit. It's moving relatively quick, and it seems to move faster and faster as they watch and film it. Now, it's kind of hard to see the flashing light above it now because it's pretty far away, and they've got this other light kind of interfering with what they're seeing. We've looked at a lot of clips on Unexplained Chronicles, and I've never seen one quite like this before. This is a very bizarre and very compelling clip. Let's go to the Reddit thread and see what people are saying in the comments about this extremely bizarre clip. This person says a bit of a Nope vibe. That's a good point. The movie Nope by Jordan Peele. That is a good point. This person says this is a second stage fuel dump of a most likely SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit. This person says classic footage of a rocket launch. What we are seeing are the gases from the rocket expanding in the light of the sun. SpaceX. So it looks like the consensus in the comments are that a lot of people think that this is either SpaceX or some type of rocket, and I just don't buy that. I just don't buy that. All right, the final clip on today's episode of Unexplained Chronicles comes to us from TikTok, from the TikTok page UAP Sightings 1. And it says this video of a UAP was taken in Lake Havasu, Arizona in 2010. Now, I'm not going to play the sound here on this clip, but I encourage you to click the link down below in the sources to watch the full clip with sound, because you're going to hear the people behind the camera reacting to and talking about what they're seeing. And again, that adds a little bit more authenticity and validity to the clip. So let's take a look. It's only about 57 seconds long. So daytime sky, this was filmed 2010, and you see what appears to clearly be a metallic saucer-shaped object flying through the air or moving through the air. I can't tell how fast or slow that it's moving because they are very much zoomed in on it, trying to keep it in frame. But it is a very bright, very clearly metallic object. And again, it's saucer shaped. It's almost shaped kind of like a top. You see a little bit of a diamond shape on the top and the bottom of it as it moves through the air. And there's a plane flying above it there. And they're continuing to film it while staying zoomed in. No visible means of propulsion. I don't believe that this object is making any sound as they film it. And there's a really good look at it right there. So let's pause there for just a second and zoom in just a bit. So again, saucer shaped, protrusion at the bottom. I believe there's also a similar protrusion at the top, and no propulsion, moving in a straight line as they film it. So yeah, they just continue to film it for about 57 seconds. For some reason, the video cuts at 57 seconds. I don't know why. So that leads me to believe that there might be a longer version of this video out there somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. It always sets off a few red flags when somebody stops filming like that. They either stopped filming or the video was edited to be shorter. It's hard to say for sure, but either way, I want to see the full thing. If I was filming this, I would keep filming it until my freaking camera dies or I can't see it anymore. Let's go to the TikTok video and see what people are saying in the comments. This person says it's AI, but that's not likely considering this video is from 2010. This person says it's a balloon. I mean, it could be. It could be a balloon, sure. This person says it's like it's just cruising, thought it was a balloon at first, wonder what it was doing. Saucer drone. So it looks like the consensus among a lot of people in the comments for this TikTok video is that it is a balloon, and that is entirely possible. Maybe somebody set free a metallic saucer-shaped balloon. Maybe they did it. Maybe the people filming it did it. This person in the description says that it was soaring approximately 3,000 feet above the lake in Arizona. Either way it goes, it is a very interesting clip and it's fun to speculate on. That is it for today's episode of Unexplained Chronicles. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below about all the clips we covered in today's video. And if you have a clip for me to cover in a future episode of Unexplained Chronicles, throw a link to that clip in the comments, or you can email me unexplainedchronicles@gmail.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Unexplained Chronicles.